Hey, it's Dr. Jade, Teta. Welcome to Metabolic Living's Immunity Upgrade Blueprint. In today's lecture, we're going to be talking about awareness of your weak areas and how key this is to making progress for your metabolism and your immune system. We're also going to be talking about frameworks to help you determine what matters most and review some of these key frameworks so you can begin to sort of triage where you are in your strengths and weaknesses. Now, as I always say, I want you to remember the best defense is a strong immune system, and you get a strong immune system when you develop a strong metabolism. That's what provides the energy to fuel your immune system in the first place so that the immune system can do its job fighting viruses and bacteria and fungus and these kinds of things for you. Let's get started with the lecture. I'm going to be teaching you and walking you through three critical frameworks in today's lecture. And what I want you to do as you go through these frameworks is I want you to see where you fall. I want you to evaluate yourself 1 to 10. 10 being you've got this covered, it's great, it's working perfectly, and 1, you're really, really struggling. And I want you to remember this because one of the key things about making change in our lives and helping our metabolism and our immune system is knowing where to focus our attention. Many of us get so overwhelmed trying to fix all the things when some of those things don't matter. These frameworks and you going through this process that we're going to talk about today helps you get focused, helps you know what to focus on. Now, the first thing we're going to look at is the 4 M's of metabolism. These are the 4 areas that make the biggest difference for your metabolism. Now, if you notice, these are mindset, movement, meals, and metabolics. Now, if you're paying attention, you probably are saying, well, I thought it was just diet and exercise. I thought it was just what I'm eating, meals, and how I'm exercising or stimulating my metabolism, metabolics. However, if you've been following along in this 30-day immunity upgrade challenge, you are now understanding that that is just 2 sides of a 4-sided equation. Yes, it's what you eat. That's important. Yes, it's how you exercise. That's important. But it's also about sleep and stress management, which we call mindset or mindfulness, and also movement. One of the things you've learned is how critical activities of daily living. In past lectures, we talked about the idea of non-exercise activity thermogenesis, or this thing called NEAT or NEAT. It's just a fancy scientific term for activities of daily living and how movers fare way better than sitters, even when sitters are exercising. If you have a sitter who exercises, that will typically be less valuable, less healthy, less effective for immune and metabolic function than a mover who does not exercise. And this is a critical understanding. This is why we define movement as slightly different than exercise. Also, metabolics, we call the exercise component metabolics because there are other things that stimulate the immune system and the metabolism other than just sort of exercise. Supplements do it, drugs can do it, exercise does it. So we put all those under the rubric of metabolics. So meals, what you're eating. I want you to rank yourself 1 to 10. Do you have that down pat? Do you know what works for you, or are you moving in that direction? If you do, give yourself a 10. If you do not, then give yourself a 1. Metabolics, are you exercising enough but not too much? If you're exercising enough, you're not throwing your schmeck out of check, you're not feeling food compensations where you're hungry all the time. As a result of exercise, you're probably doing this correctly. Mindfulness or mindset. Give yourself a 10 if you are practicing multiple mindset, rest, and recovery activities every single day. Sleeping appropriately, managing your stress appropriately, going for long walks, doing things to relax you, being socially connected, giving yourself time alone, making sure you're doing creative pursuits, and also approaching life with deep purpose. Now, also, movement is critical. Am I moving? Are you getting 10,000 to 20,000 steps every single day most days of the week, realizing that there is a bell-shaped curve here. You don't want to be a sitter, but you also don't want to be, doing nothing but walking constantly, right? That's going to be somewhat stressful to your system. And so what we want to do is remember these are the important components. It's not just diet and exercise. It's mindfulness, sleep/stress reduction. It's movement, activities of daily living, and it's diet and exercise. You need all four. I want you in this lecture to say which of these are your weak areas. Are you most problematic with food, exercise, mindfulness, and stress reduction, or with movement? If you're not doing 10 to 20,000 steps per day movement-wise, that might be your issue. If you're not spending multiple activities every day trying to lower stress and calm yourself and connect and collect yourself and regenerate and rest and repair, then maybe mindfulness or mindset is your issue. If you're not exercising at all, then maybe the exercise component is you. If you're not eating well, if you know you're overeating on a regular basis or struggling to eat the right foods over the long haul, then that might be your issue. So get very clear on where you sit in the 4 M's. Now, the other part of this is your unique 4 P's. We've talked about this as well, but we're going to go over it again because it's so critical. I want you also to rank this on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 would be where you struggle. 10 would be where you've kind of got this figured out. So your physiology is kind of your biochemistry. So let's say you're diabetic. You know that if you have sugar, you are going to struggle and you're going to have some issues. Then you would give yourself a 1 or a 3. Maybe you have Hashimoto's thyroiditis or a thyroid condition or an autoimmune condition. That puts your physiology less. It makes it mean that you're going to have to pay more attention to that particular aspect. Maybe psychology is your thing. Maybe you worry. Maybe you have depression. Maybe you have a hard time being self-loving and compassionate and feel overwhelmed a lot and don't feel like you have the mental, emotional skills to handle life as good as you could. Then psychology is the area that you're going to want to focus in. Rank yourself there. Personal preferences. This one is tricky, right? Because if you're someone like me who just absolutely loves sweets and things like that, and that is the only thing you like when it comes to food, I'm definitely a sweets guy. I can eat sweets at every meal. And this does not serve me. And so this is a place where I may rank myself as a little bit of weakness there. And then maybe I will begin to explore different things and find other preferences. Or, since I love sweets so much, do what I typically do, which is find healthier alternatives that still give you that sweet taste, like sugar substitutes that have no calories and things like that. And the next would be practicals. What is your environment like? What are the people around you like? What is your order like? Is your surroundings orderly and clean and stress-free and without people draining your batteries? Once you have this understanding and you can rank them, you can say, okay, I know what the big issues are here for me. For me, my physiology, I would say, is maybe a 5. I have thyroid issues. I have some pre-diabetes type of things in my family. So I'm going to give myself a 5 there. Psychology, I am very calm, collected. I handle life well. I feel like I have a good outcome and outlook. I would give myself a 9 there. Personal preferences, I tend to love to work out, and I train with weights, but I tend to always want sweets. So I might give myself a 4 there. And then practicals, I would give myself maybe a 10. I've got great order. I have complete freedom of time. I've got great people around me. So this tells me right away I need to work on my preferences perhaps and really boosting up my physiology and doing things that are important with that. So hopefully you're seeing how this works. I want you to do the same. And then the last one is a little bit more sort of global. And this is what we call the 4 jobs of every human. As a human, you have a job to do. In fact, you have 4 jobs. You have wealth, managing finances, earning a living. You have health, managing your health and your fitness. You have purpose and meaning. This means making a difference and doing something that matters to you. And then you have sort of your people, your personal relationships, your romantic relationships, your family, your friends, your social support. We have to do all of these jobs. We have to manage people. We have to manage our purpose. We have to manage our health. We have to manage our wealth. Now I want you to rank which ones are you doing well or not well. So for me, I'll do this for you so you can see I earn very well. So wealth is okay, except I'm not historically good with saving and managing money. So I might give myself a 5 at wealth. Health, again, I've had some challenges with health. I might give myself a 5 there as well. Purpose, meaning I would give myself a 9 or a 10. People, social support, I would give myself a 9 or a 10. And so you can see this helps me know where to focus. And when I go back and look, I can see the jobs that I need to work on. I can see the areas of my 4 Ps that I need to work on. And I also can see where the 4 Ms of metabolism sort of come in. And this would be very important for all of us to go through so we know where to focus, so we're not all over the place. So now I want you to take from those different ones, and hopefully now you have some insight about here is my main issue. For example, perhaps you're someone who's like, if I just got my finances in order, that would help my practicals, which are low right now, and that would also give me the motivation to do other things, right? So I want you to come down to the 1 or 2 things that you go, this is what I really need to focus on, Jade. Awareness is critical. That helps us focus, and then we can start hitting the target and getting results. All right, key takeaways. You need to understand the key areas that matter most. Rank yourself 1 to 10 in all of these, and then begin to focus on the areas that are your weakest. Focus on them one at a time and realize it takes time for these to make a difference. I hope this is helpful for you. Remember, thank you so much for watching today, and you can still join plus access all the old lectures over at metabolicliving.com. Don't forget, we've got immune strengthening workouts, we've got recipes, we've got meal plans. We are taking care of you no matter your nutritional choices, paleo, keto, vegan, vegetarian, we've got you covered. Hey, if you've loved this lecture, please share it with as many people as you can. Follow us at Metabolic Living on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And don't forget, everybody, we're all in this together. It's about boosting your metabolism, strengthening your immune system, flattening this curve together. I hope you had fun at today's lecture and learned something. We will see you at the next session.